Hey car people, how you doing? This is John from John's Barn. Today we're going to do a will it run on this 73 Malibu that we got for a parts car for the 73 SS 454. So I'm already checked the points here. I put a battery in it and put a little bit of a charge. I went and got 5 gallons of gas and we'll have to pour a little bit of gas down the hose to wet the whistle of the fuel pump. That's usually what I do, that way the diaphragm's not dry. And I'm gonna check the points real quick and see where we're at. We have fire. Put the rotor button back on. A little sweaty here, folks, and it's biting me. Happens all the time. Okay. I'm going to put the cap back on. Now, mind you, this is a first for me and a first for you. This car has not been run since 2000. I believe it was during the summer of 2000. I covered it in the last video. That woman had a stroke 10 miles after she put new tires and tune-up on this car. And her daughter parked it in the garage until 2015, where it was pushed outside until I bought it. So 25 years. Took me long enough. Folks, I usually pour a little bit of gas. This goes to the fuel pump. I gave her a little bit of a prime. Let's see what that does. Everything's out of the way. A little bit of the ether boy here is mechanic's best friend. Now, folks, I have cranked this. I did crank it a couple dozen times just to get a little bit of oil started, and we're going to check the oil one more time. Very nice. Right full. See what happens. You gotta be kidding me. 5 years, folks. I cranked it a bunch. It may have pulled old gas up into the carburetor. Let's let her run for a bit here. Doesn't sound very happy. It's missing on probably 3 cylinders. See if she cleans up. Never rev an engine that's been sitting for ever. It doesn't make them happy. Trying, folks. You know, it's amazing, even the smog pump is not frozen up. She is missing, folks. Now, when I turn it over, I'm a mechanic, long-time mechanic, and I can tell if a valve is sticking. And the motor turned over perfect. No stuck valves, no anything. I pulled one valve cover, super clean inside. And at that time, I tested each valve to make, see if anything was stuck. Everything's perfect. My guess is it either needs to clean up or needs to run for a while. Check the antifreeze. As you can hear, it's popping and squeezing, cleaning up one cylinder at a time. Amazing. This was the top 3 easiest ones I've ever started. It's been sitting more than 5 years. Let's let her run. It's full of antifreeze. I've got 5 gallons of fresh gas. Always check under a car too when it's sitting to make sure it's not leaking anything. Dry as a bone, folks. fire on those last cylinder or two. Come on, baby. I think you can do it. Oh my goodness, people, listen to that. Stepping back in time, 43,000 actual miles. And this is the first run, June 6th, I believe. June 5th or June 6th, 2025. It was parked sometime during the summer of 2000. Here's for you Chevy guys. You guys will be laughing all night at the bar on this one. You check out the old 307. It's been sitting for 20 years. This dude put some gas in it, squirted it, turned over 3 times and started, and ran for 30 seconds on 20-year-old gas. I will admit, it's hard to kill a Chevy, especially the mouse motors. I've seen them at the demolition derby, folks, where they've taken out the radiators, and it's in the fall and it's at night, and the last 2 or 3 cars are out there and the exhaust manifolds are glowing, and the fan hasn't been turning for 10 minutes, and the heat is over with, and the winter is crowned, and 3 or 4 of these cars start up and drive on their own off the track. That's impressive. That's impressive. Let's see how it starts. Wow. folks, that was worth it. Let's see if it moves. No move, folks. My guess, no trans fluid. No trans fluid. Well, folks, it's on a trans fluid. They usually are the ones that leak out first. I'm going to put 4 or 5 quarts in it tomorrow, air the rear tire up again, and temporarily she's going in the backyard because we're not going to strip this one until the big block car is in the barn, and we're ready to inventory parts, because this is going to be stripped to the bone. Every part will be labeled, inventoried, and put in totes and boxes in the trunk of the 454 car, and literally everything, every screw, everything. And what's not needed is going to go to another car enthusiast. It's here, another car enthusiast. This hopefully has a 73, 74, 75 Malibu or a Laguna, and they need a deck lid, or they need the tail panels for the 73s are hard to find, and this one is rust free. Has a rust free trunk floor even. The floor pans are beautiful. The quarter panels are rock solid. There's a ton of stuff in this car that can be salvaged and can go to another automobile enthusiast to keep this hobby alive for people like you and me that really love this old school stuff. Where it all began, man. V8s, point ignition, getting a poke when you're messing with the points. I can't remember how many times I've done that. My dad would say, find out the miss in that car, pull out those plug wires. And before we got the rubber handled spark plug tool that he smuggled back home here from General Motors, I'd put a pair of gloves on and grab the wires one at a time, and if it was damp out or I was wet or anything, guess who got poked? It wasn't my dad. So I got so used to getting poked that I got to where I didn't jump back anymore. I just go, ooh, because it doesn't hurt you, people. It's a lot of volts, but there's no amperage. People say, oh God, it's 30,000 volts. It's going to kill me. When I was in high school, I took auto class just for the hell of it. I was already a gearhead. I'd already built engines by the time I was 14 and 15 with my family. And the shop teacher turned on a simulated coil to where the spark plug wire was sparking, and he grabbed onto it and stood there while he was talking to us. You could see him twitching, and everybody was freaking out, and I already knew what he was doing, and I was just smiling. And he said, Mr. Thompson, what's so funny? And I said, it's voltage. There's no amps. Amps is what kills you. Unless you go up above 220 volts, 240 volts, 480 volts. There's a lot of amperage there too, and the combination turns you into a steak dinner, basically, for somebody or something. So I already knew, and I told him why I wasn't surprised, and I did get an A in the course, obviously, because I grew up in this kind of family, this kind of life. And but there were people that were waiting for him to fall on his butt. But it still kind of surprises you when they bite. We call it when we get bit, when it bites you. So I got bit a little bit. My hands were a little bit sweaty, and when I was turning the distributor weights back and forth to see it, if it was sparked, it fed up into that shaft and snapped at me a little bit. So unless you've noticed, this thing is still running, by the way. Unbelievable is all I gotta say. Unbelievable. why I mess with old stuff. Well, folks, in 22 minutes, give or take, yeah, about 22 minutes. And I didn't stage this. I came out here and hooked up the fuel hose, and I was actually checking the points. They were sparking a little bit, and I've got a little bit of sandpaper here, so I just went back and forth on the points again, and I blew them off with a little bit of starting fluid. Blow the whatever you sanded off, and I turned the camera on to check the points. This car had not been running, so as you can tell, it ran kind of sick for a good 10 minutes, and she made some pops out the back, and that's usually a spark plug that's saying, I think I can. It's only about 2 inches low on antifreeze. Heater hoses are warm, thermostat opened up, top hose is warm. Unbelievable. I did crank it over when I put the battery in it, and I did it again earlier today. I cranked it over 20 or 30 times, not even expecting it to run, and to get some oil in there. You just don't grab an engine like this that has been dormant for decades and turn it over 3 or 4 times, pour gas down it. Bearings are bone dry, and Chevys pull oil quick, so that was my purpose. So we picked it up. Like I said, my guess is it shows all the gauges work, and it shows between a quarter of a tank and half tank of gas, and it smells bad, but I've smelled worse. 20 years ago, they didn't have as bad a gas as they do now. My guess is once I got it to fire, it started on its own fuel, but I'd already disconnected that hose, and some fuel did come out of it. Actually, I stuck a screw in it. I guess I didn't even need to put starting fluid in it. So I told you guys the other day that we were going to do a will it run on this, and it runs. Let's start this one more time. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, people. There we go. Well, there you have it. So 73 Malibu Deluxe rubber floor mat car, 307 2-barrel, manual brakes. AM radio. It had dog dish hubcaps on it. It's a shame, folks. It was probably a cute little car when it was new. Those are the miles. As you can see. Now, when I first put a battery in this, I turned the key on and the gas gauge moved, and I thought, huh, that's cool. Because usually they go all the way full, or they don't work at all because the sending unit goes bad, and so it shows gas. It stinks. I pulled the gas cap off it. I've smelled worse, but it's not something I'd put in my lawnmower, that's for sure. So anyway, folks, had a good time. Good day. I got myself another tripod. I had one. It came with a kit, and it was plastic, and I rubbed my ankle against it about the third time out, and it broke. One of the pedestals broke. down went the whole thing. Didn't hurt the camera, but that was last year, and I thought, oh God, threw that thing away. And like I said, I've been real busy, haven't made any content in quite a while, which sucks, because by now I wanted to have about 10 or 12 engines built, and I built 5 or 6, 7, and 8 is almost done. So I'm halfway there, and I wanted the barn empty, and then I'm just way behind. I don't want to get into it, but things are a lot better now. You're going to see a lot more of me. Hope you like these. Like I said, I'm just a good old boy. No editing, no, today at John's Pontiac barn, and fireworks and all kinds of, special effects. Yeah, I can see that from me. I'm really good with a computer. I've got a friend whose wife is a graphic designer. She can set up, websites, and she told me, she goes, oh, you're gonna do a YouTube channel? Oh, I'll set you up. Oh, you'll be in no time at all, you'll have sponsors and be doing ads. I don't want to do that. It's not important to me. It really isn't. What's important is having a good time with these old cars. So we're gonna shut the battery charger off. There we go. So that's it, folks. I guess we take this off. Okay. Why does 6-gallon feel so much heavier than it did 20 years ago? I mean, 20 years ago, man, this gas can must be about empty. Oh, it was full. Now, it seems you pick one up that's half empty and you go, God, this thing's heavy. I still got a little bit left in me, but things seem to be getting heavier. That's just it's the cycle of life, people. I'm 63 years old. I'm blessed by God to be in as good a shape as I am. Good Lord Jesus has a reason that I can still kick it out here and build engines and change engines and build cars and paint. That's my passion. And they say as long as you have a passion and you have a hobby, it contributes to longevity. Remember that. Get a hobby. If you're retired, get a hobby. Don't say, man, I'm retired now, I can watch TV and watch the game and chill with my buddies once in a while. No, get a hobby, man. Get in the garage, make some cabinets for mama. Do some mods to the house. Get yourself a little man cave going, a little workshop in the basement, or if you have a garage or pole barn like John does at John's Barn, build you a barn and make it your own. That's what I'm doing to this one. When it gets emptied out, I'll show you what I've done that people don't usually do, how I set this barn up, because I wanted it to be my own. Well, it's mine. There are many like it, but that one is mine. So thanks for joining me at John's Pontiac Barn. And the barn says thanks and goodbye. And John says thanks, goodbye. And the 307, she runs. And no lifter noises, no nothing. How impressive. Anybody needs a good 40,000 mile small block Chevy with a 350 turbo transmission. There was a little bit of fluid at the end and it was pink. So I imagine it's perfect. Anybody needs a drivetrain, cheap. And it comes complete, carb to pan, all accessories, alternator, starter. I'll even give you the smog pump. Have a good day, people. Love everybody. Be friendly. Help people. You see someone with a flat tire, try to help. See someone needs gas. You see them down and out, they need $1 or $2. It doesn't even matter what it goes to. Just help them. God looks down on that. It shows that you have heart and soul. So thanks again for watching. See you soon at John's Pontiac Barn. And Bella, you want to say hi? Come here. There she is. Be kind to animals too. See ya.